Okay. It took me a moment. I'm here though. We good. I'm all set up here. Um, okay, so I got some things. Let me just switch over here. So I had an effect I didn't quite get the chance to finish, and so I did finish it off stream. Don't know if I need this. That's the thing. It doesn't actually do anything, which is unfortunate. I think it's fine though. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. So in that case, that's all working. So then we want to work on something new. And I have a couple ideas for some funny stuff I can do. Right. I remember this being a thing. This is also another possible thing that I could do to fix this problem. Where I could on entity tick do that, but then I need to make sure that the chicken, wherever it is, it's not even here. That's great. That's great. This is an entity though, that's the thing. Does that even work? Because if we call super tick, this goes to mob entity, where it updates that, and we go to living entity tick, which does call super tick first. Right, and this sets the Called on the client when the entity receives a spawn packet. What's in this? It's the entity itself. Actually, no, it's not. The entity itself isn't here. Because we already have the entity. Okay. Hold on, there might be something we can do here. Do you have anything at all? Tick movement. Tick movement. Tick movement. Okay, that's for something completely different then. I'm not gonna worry about that. What is custom data? Wait, maybe I can just set some custom data. It's MBT component. Like maybe do that. So I could do that as well. Because I would have thought that having an initial update packet go through, and that would work. Because it would update this, and it would set it, but it doesn't. Despite the fact that they do this, and this is sent on the client, I don't think it's executed fast enough, basically. I don't remember where I was. Dang it. Okay, I don't need these things. Pretty sure I don't need those. I just gotta know, I think I just need a call hierarchy for this to see when this is used. No, dude. Brother. I can't backspace? Hello? There we go. I don't know why that was a thing. Moving entity, push away from... Which is called an entity. And where is this called? It's in their tick movement. And their tick movement is called before their tick. That's really interesting. Right, so this is where I notice a problem. Right, like if they both have no clip, or if either of them have no clip, sorry, that's what that's saying. If either of them have no clip, then it goes through this. This is a really weird way to check it. So if item have no clip, it does that. And then this is done here, so I don't know why this doesn't work. I think maybe it's because my packet is not sent fast enough? And I can't do it right now because the client wouldn't have the information, which is why I can't do it now. It has to receive that packet first. I see. Where is this entity tick called? Living entity tick. What calls living entity tick? Bunch of stuff calls it. Okay, cool. Living entity tick calls entity tick, which does the base tick, which does all that stuff. Where is this used? Okay, that's a bunch of stuff that it uses. Interesting. Okay. Right, and it should work, but it doesn't. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna see. Maybe it does work, and I forgot that it worked. That would be unfortunate. But I don't think that's the case. I'm pretty sure it pushes me around. I don't want it pushing me around. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna actually turn off that breakpoint for a second. My other option is some other handler thing. I think what happens, actually, I think I have an idea of what happens. I'm sending a packet to set its no-clip status, but it doesn't actually end up happening. One moment. Alright, I'm back. I think I switched scenes or something. Yeah, I did. Lol. Whoops. That's fine. So what I want to do is notice how it pushes me still, right? So we fix. Right, because this is on the client. On the client, they both don't have no clip sets. They don't do it. Now there's something with other nonsense. And then the two chickens collide with each other. And this is on the server. And now this is the client. And they don't have no clip. And this is the chicken and the player. This is the client and the chicken, and they both don't have no clip. And the server and the chicken, and that's fine. And the chickens on the server is fine. And that's fine. And the application's running nonsense. Yeah, right. So like it never manages to send it correctly. Server thread, render thread. Right? So okay. That's the thing. It never ends up actually managing to set the chicken's status before that actually ends up happening. So I have to do this differently. And I think I actually have an idea of how I could do it differently. which means I have to change a lot of stuff, which is annoying. I would just need to send information about the action and then what I'm doing. At that point, I'm calling it on tick, which is not sufficient. I need to do it before then, alright? But see, here's the thing. Here's the problem I'm running into. On entity tick, this is when I send the packet. But that's too late. It doesn't receive that information right away. But if I send it here when I actually spawn the chicken, I'm pretty sure the chicken doesn't exist on the client yet. And so it can't actually set no tick. So like, or no clip. This is too early, this is too late. That's sort of what's going on here. What I can do instead is I can send a packet here with this chicken's unique ID, store that information, and then on something like entity collision or even just on tick, I check to see if it has the I check to see if it has the like if I have that UUID, and then if I do, I set its no clip on tick, right? So I like send a packet here, just with the UUID, or maybe with the ID. I don't know. I probably only need to use the ID. Right, so instead of just doing this, I basically send the same packet. Right, I basically do the same packet, but instead, the receiver is itself an entity tick handler. Or whatever it is. Entity tick callback. Right, and then it just receives this information and it stores it. And then I want to make sure this actually gets called. It might not, but we'll see. Alright, and then I don't actually do it here. I might not even need that. What do I want? Update action. Can I make this like a multi-map? We have that? We do. I just want to see what kind of maps I have here. If I have like a multi-map that can work with primitives, I'm happy. I don't think I do. Right, this is int to object linked to open hash map, which is not what I want. In by consumer, whatever, in pair, don't care about that. An object map. Nah, dude, it's not gonna work. Multi-map builder dot enum keys. That's actually perfect. The action dot class dot hash set values. A build. Alright, so now all I do here is I do update actions dot put initial update packet dot action entity initial update packet dot ID. All I do is this, right? I just store that information. Then on tick, I do update actions dot for each. What does this implement? Oh, I need to get the entity. Wait, I have the entity. That's fair. This is the wrong thing. I don't want it like this. I want it the other way. Integer here, and then I want update action here. This is not enum keys. This is hash keys, probably. I don't even know if I want hash set values. What else do we have? Do I have enum set values? Hell yeah, bro. That's what I'm talking about. And then we just have to swap these. Not whatever you just did there, bro. You think that's what I wanted? Boom. Swap that around. Now, instead what I can do is I can do update actions.get. This gets me a collection. Get ID. Dot for each. Action.update, and I pass in the entity. And then on the client, all I need to do is I have this, right? Zero.register, and then entity tick callback.event.register the receiver as well. Now it does all that, and it does this callback too. I don't know if this will work. Depends if this mixin is applied on the client. It probably is. I don't know, we'll see. Basically, I'm just gonna set this. Actually, we're gonna see. Oh my god, they all just died. Randomly and spontaneously. That's interesting. Okay, now it's moving me. Which leads me to believe this isn't working. Okay, yep, not you. No, there's a chicken. There's another chicken. This is the server level. Is it always server level? No, there is one that it does get called on client level. Hmm. Let me back into the game. Okay, it actually... What? That's hilariously not funny. Okay, this is not working. I just accidentally made a skeleton no-clip through the ground. That's not good. Some random stuff is happening. Okay, please, stop. Some poor skeleton just started no-clipping. That was an accident. What? Well, that's gonna be interesting. How am I doing? Doing. You wanna see something special? Well, look. You're gonna love this. This is great. This is great. This is the worst thing ever. Yep. Actually, there's another one. This is my better one. Which one's the better one, though? It's not rotate. What's it called? Can you... Oh. Thank you. You're still here, dang it. Well, I don't need to care about you anymore. Apparently, I still need to care about you. Literally, what was it called? I literally forgot what it was called. Oh, I remember what it's called now. Here we go. Look at this. This is... This is exactly what I want. If I'm playing sideways... Oh god, this is completely unplayable. I love it. Can you back off, mate? Oh, he did. Oh, no, he didn't. He, in fact, did not. Gem is going to kill me. You know what? You would be completely correct. There are worse things. Okay, that worked. There are far worse things. You think that's terrible? All right, I'll give you another sneak peek. Look at this. This is just horrible. Everything just bleeds. It's all visual effects. That's all the stuff I'm working on. This is just horrendous. I love it. I've changed a couple of things, but those are like some of the new things. I'm now working on another new thing, which I want to fix. I have to include some visual warnings in that. Oh, there is. There always has been. Watch. I'll show you. This was in the previous version, too. It's right on startup. We got this right on startup, baby. Right on startup. Right here. Be careful. Right? We had that in the last version as well. We're covered. We're covered. So. Right. This time I need to not store this. Last version was a year ago, so I don't remember it. You know what? That's fair. That is fair. But we did have that as well, being like, hey, maybe you want to be careful there. Right, now I gotta figure out how I want to do this, because I can't store this as a byte. Can I do... What other packet codecs you got? Let me do like a long array or something. Optional int long, var long, byte array, long array. Dude, this is perfect. Alright, I shall lurk to avoid... Yes, no worries, no worries. Thanks for tuning in. How we all doing? Next time, I see you there as well. We're gonna make this a long. And the reason we're gonna make this a long... Thank you. Just enjoying watching the chaos. Yep. Right, so take the packet codecs and then a function to take it to that packet codecs. Turns a packet from the encoder and decoder. Always returns value. Returns a codec that maps its encode input and decode output with from to respectively. Packet codec, packet codecs.string.xmap. Oh, I see. No, I don't see. Yeah, I see. Wait, is there no UUID packet codec? That's so weird. There should be a packet codecs for UUID. There's... swear to God there should be. Ain't no way you don't have that. Player name, game profile... string, MBT element. You really don't. You really on that cracked shit, bro. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Alright, this... a boom, get out of here. Nonsense. Nonsense, alright? Here's the plan. Here's the plan. Packet codecs dot long array dot xmap. Right, and this that maps its encode input. So, okay, this is where I would need UUID dot... It's from bytes? Your brother? Wait, hit me with the UUID. I thought it was longs. Yeah, it has most and least sig bits. Right here. Oh, there we go, look at that. Most sig bits is used for most significant 64 bits UUID, least sig bits used for least significant 64 bits. Okay, yeah, see, ba-ba-boom, ba-ba-booey. And so this is gonna be our array, and it's gonna get mapped to new UUID, and it's gonna be A indexed at 0, A indexed at 1, right? So that's how we take that and do that. And then to go from this back, I need UID to map to UID dot. Can I just grab the things? No, brother. There's gotta be a way that you get it. Yeah, get least significant bits. Get most significant bits. Okay, that should be fine. So this constructor here takes the most significant bits first. So I want to return a new long array that has the UUID.get most. This should be public. Get most significant bits. I don't know why I can't autocomplete that. Get least significant bits. Boom. I don't know why it's O. Right, because it can't resolve this part here. Alright, so we have a packet codex. Packet codex, codex 1 from 1, and then packet codex, codex 2 from 2 by function 2. Right, so I encode this, I encode that. I guess I don't need this then. Just do long array. No, that doesn't work. And then, so that's the packet codex. And then I need to go, right. So that's just in general how that works. Now, how do I grab this, right? Easy. I make this the UUID. We don't worry about that right now. Right, so now it's gonna be the packet. Entity initial update packet. Brother. ID. Boom. That's how we get that part. Now I need the update action. Bada bing. Which is going to be packet codex dot byte, probably. And then we're gonna do nd map this to p dot action dot ordinal. Boom. And now how do we put it all together? Easily. This is the action ID. And this is the ID. All right, and then we do entity update packet dot new. Entity initial update packet new. What do you mean? Provided a byte buffer. You what? No instance type variables exist, so that integer conforms to byte inference variable T2 has incompatible bounds, equality constraint, byte lower bounds integer. You what, mate? Oh, it's byte buff, really? But wait a second, that's fine. Element MBT compound. From codex, blah, 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 blah. Optional. Collection. The collection to list, map. We have either this, blah, blah, blah. Where are we at? Registry entry list, lenient JSON. I don't know where. I don't know where my tuple went. Where did my tuple go? Oh, it's packet codex.tuple. Right, which is generically that. I guess it depends on if it matters. Maybe it doesn't. We'll see. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe if I just make this a byte buff, we're fine. No instances of type variables exist, so that integer conforms to byte inference variable. Oh wait, I have to cast this to byte. Maybe this can still be registry byte buff. Yes, it can. Okay, it's fine. I just have to cast that. So now I send this earlier. Alright, I send this here. I don't need this anymore, actually. And I don't need this either. Put this here. After we spawn it, hit me with the player. And this is gonna be the chicken. Get UUID. Now it does this. Now I do get server, no, not get server world. What, how we do this? Not this one. That's probably not it. Not the one I want to do either, now that I'm thinking about it. Player utils. That's what it's under. It's under player utils. Get server player and player dot map it needs two things. Okay. If present. Server play networking dot send. Throw this in here. So now it sends that information right away, right? This is no longer needed because it's not used. I don't need to implement this callback either. This is nonsense. This is nonsense. This is nonsense too. Right, because now all I do is I set this and I send to the client this packet. Now there's a couple things I still need to fix. Is there? There's got to be something. I'll see when it fails to compile. There we go. And I actually want to remove it. Remove all. Right, so now what this is going to do, I presume it's going to work the same as so that's the key. We remove all the stuff associated with that key, and we return the collection of all the values that were originally associated with that key. That's what that'll do. And then for each one, we process the action. Hopefully now we're not making random people no-clip. Well, unless we're supposed to make random people no-clip. That's when it's acceptable. Any other time is no dice. What am I looking to do? Right, I want to check this. It's still pushing me. No, it's actually not pushing me. Oh my god, I'm upside down. Yay, this is exactly how I wanted it to work. Minus the fact that I'm upside down. Just not helping at all. There's someone coming. I want to test it like this, so I actually see it working correctly. You think these count as a good shield? Oh my gosh, they do. That's awesome. You can use them as a shield. I'm getting out of here. Alright, now they ain't getting me. So that works. Nice. We in there. Good shit, dude. Good shit. Alright. Now. To ruin other shit. Actually, something I want to check real quick. Where's my... Because I might be able to turn off the vignette for the other thing too. So this changed sprite color callback. Where are you done? That's on camera update. That's on whatever that is. That's before that. Probably in draw context. Right. Alter color on draw GUI texture. Equals, what are we? Yeah, the draw GUI texture. That's that one. At equals at head. Cancelable is true. So we need the render pipeline. We need the identifier for the sprite. int x, int y, int width, int height, int color. Oh yeah, callback info. I'm getting to it, dude. I'm getting to it. Complaining that it's cancelable, but it's never canceled. And to which I say, bro, if you've not seen me, just do this. I need to also inject here, because I don't know which one it's coming in from, so we're gonna just do all of them. We're gonna do it here as well. And I'm gonna need to add the extra arguments. And so this one has int text width, int text height, int u, int v, int x, int y, int width, int height, int color. You gotta be kidding me. I typed this into the wrong spot. That's on this one. Height, int u, int v, int x, int y, int width, int height, int color. Boom. What else are you bitching about then? Oh yeah, because it's already defined here. Right. This one's different. It's int x, int y. It's float u, float v. Oops. Oh wait. Float u, float v, int width, int height, int region width, int region height, white. Oh my lord, dude. Int texture width, int texture height, int color. Boom. Now I go here. Is it sprite? Yeah, I guess it's on sprite draw fallback. No, not that, dude. What the heck? Why would I ever want that? Event. This one. On sprite draw callback. An event. We're gonna leave that like that for now, because this needs to be callback result. Yes. On should draw. Takes the render pipeline, the identifier for the sprite, and that's probably all we really need for that. And this is now going to be event factory. dot create array backed on sprite draw callback dot class. The listeners, they're gonna go to this whole thing, right? Where it's gonna do this. On sprite draw callback equals iterators dot for array for the listeners. Oh yeah, and we have callback result equals new callback result, which I believe is set to pass and pass, right? Yeah. Or here, result dot get process state equals process state dot pass. Result equals it dot next dot should draw. This needs to be the pipeline. That is not at all how that worked. All right, I need to pass in that. Pipeline and sprite. Boom, look at that. So now here, it's all gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be if on sprite draw callback dot event dot invoker dot should draw pipeline is sprite. Well, if we should not draw. Wait. If this dot get cancel state equals cancel state dot cancel, then and do ci dot cancel. We just do the same thing. And now the right, so there's that, but the U, right? I basically need another one of U, but not really. And this implements on the sprite draw callback. And then you see here how I have affected pipelines. I basically do the same thing. Under pipelines dot vignette. In case there's more that I want to cancel, right? So we just do that, and then I need a tracker. Do I need a tracker? Yeah, because I guess that's what this does, right? I think I can just do this. Maybe, we'll see. Instance dot player. Well, if canceled pipelines dot contains pipeline and paint effect dot is client tracked, return callback new callback results cancel state dot cancel. We cancel it. Otherwise, we return a new callback result that does nothing. And all I want to do is set a breakpoint here to verify that that's happening. This is not going to be null. This could be null, but in the instance that it is null, no one cares. Incorrect. People do care. How'd I do that before? I probably didn't need a separate thing for this, but whatever. Player entity equals Minecraft client dot get instance dot player. If player is not null and or here. Well, if player is null, we immediately just ignore that. We don't care about that. Right, okay, good. Needed that first. Register callbacks. I know that it's the other one's different, but whatever. The other one's special, okay? On sprite draw callback dot event dot register new paint sprite handler. Bro? Gonna add that little caveat. What do you mean? Oh, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. If we should process and it dot has next. Okay. This should be fine now. It should work. Everything should be mucho bueno. Muchos bueno. I want to see if I can stop the vignette from being drawn, because that might actually help some stuff here. Okay, it is actually happening. Oh, this is so much better, dude. Without the vignette, it doesn't flash. Look at that, dude. It's so much better. Oh, and this is bouncy. That's what I want to see. This is now so much more playable. I wonder if hold on. Idea now. It's not there. What if I set this to like 4,000, for example? Just bear with me. Come on. You can do this. I believe in you. Let's go. It's probably not gonna make a difference because this isn't a mixin. Ah, shoot. I just realized, yeah, it's not gonna make too much of a difference. Because that property was defined in a mixin. Okay. I have to restart it. Basically, I'm gonna see what happens if I don't have a clear interval. And see if it's still technically playable now that the vignette is not being drawn. Now the vignette is not being drawn, because what happens is the vignette is not, it's obviously a non-transparent texture, right? and it has a bit of but it does have a bit of transparency to it, right? Because it's just supposed to make the surrounding areas a little bit darker, and so it literally draws itself on top of everything, and since it has a little bit of transparency, it makes everything a little bit darker. But then, if that's not replaced, then it draws everything on top. It draws the vignette on top again, and it makes everything a little bit darker. And then it makes everything a little bit darker and a little bit darker, right? And then eventually you just end up in a black void of nothing, basically. At least for the duration of that gradient. And I'm going to get killed. Which is great. No, dude, now's not the time to be doing this shit. Well, it doesn't matter. I died anyway. Oh, let me free. Let me free. Ah, shit. This is a mistake. Okay, we're fine. Okay, yeah, this is... Oh boy, this is... This is not really playable. Because it only updates the areas of the screen that actually need to be updated. I see. Okay. I have no idea where I am. But I do know I'm alive. Okay, so what I can do, actually, is I can lower this down. Instead of being 120, I can make it like 1000. Should allow you to really kind of get the idea of what I'm trying to get across with the effect without it constantly flashing and like resetting everything. And without the vignette being drawn, it should be not too hard on the eyes. Which I'm all for, dude. I'm all for. Brother. Right, just around the time it starts to become completely unplayable, it refreshes everything, right? Because now I can't see anything. Oh shit! This is bad. I can't see shit. Oh, I think I know what I messed up here. Nope. Not quite sure what's up with that. Ah, hi, spider. I'm gonna die here. Oh, I still exist. Oh my god, that's so trippy. Oh my gosh, that's so trippy. There was a snowball. I saw a snowball. I got to see the path the snowball took. Yeah, I have no idea why I'm poisoned. I do know that my controls are inverted. And that's great. Oh, I know why I was poisoned. Okay, yeah, that effect is, horrendous, and I love it. I might swap that interval, but for now, wait, I might reduce the interval later. I'm actually gonna reduce it right now. I'm gonna reduce it to 800. Okay, cool. Now to actually get to sort of the main stuff I wanted to do. We cleared a bit of stuff. We cleared a bit of stuff. We handled a bit of stuff. And now some of the stuff I want to do is not here, actually. Some of the stuff I made might help me. Right, because there's some render pipelines. Now, how would I go about, this is what I want to check, right? Like, how would I go about, it's obviously the draw context mix, and we're just going to draw the GUI texture. How would I go about rotating this? One of an effect is going to rotate the GUI. Right, because this gets the model view stack, and this rotates this, which is not entirely what I'm looking for here. Because I can't do this. I don't think so, because I don't think this works. Actually, I think it does. Hold on, I need to check. If this actually rotates the GUI, which I don't think it does. But if it does, then I just do this. If it doesn't, then we figure something else out. Please save me. Stop, 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 stop. Ooh, save myself. Right. Okay. Which effect is this one? This is a rotate screen. This is a rotate effect. The around the world rotates the camera. I want to know when this is like done. Okay. I have an idea of the research required here. So this rotates things before the client render, which is, I believe, probably after it draws the world, but obviously before it draws the UI. Probably. That would make sense. This is probably in game renderer. No, not game renderer. Not in that either. It's in this, right? Right, and at the end of render, I pop it. Which is exactly what we want. Tick textures, client tick, render, mouse rendered, in profile, get device, it does this. Oh, but game renderer, which renders, I don't even know what this renders. It renders the world. And then it renders the in-game HUD. Under main HUD. Renders the hotbar. Your hotbar item. Right, and it does flip that, which is fair. This doesn't actually render the thing. Well, there is render status bars. We have draw heart, which draws a GUI texture. This is at the end of render. So this is rendered when that is rotated, but doesn't actually rotate it. It doesn't even draw this. It just draws the sprite. Whichever one it is, I don't think it matters too much. Draw textured quad. Draws textured quad. This dot state, which is a GUI render state. And it adds that stuff to the GUI render state. And I'm guessing the GUI render state then probably just and this should have a GUI render state, I believe. No, it doesn't. Interesting. Maybe it's the game renderer. Actually, it's probably the game renderer. GUI render and a GUI render state. See, and it has a separate projection matrix. And it takes a state and render prepared draws Render system.set projection matrix. It sets a brand new matrix. And I think that's why it doesn't rotate it. I think, anyway. Okay, that's just a record. I don't care about that. Right, and so since this is a completely separate thing, it's using a separate... I presume it's using a separate thing here. It gets the pipeline, it sets the pipeline, it sets the vertex buffer, it binds the texture, and it draws indexed. Base vertex first index count instance count. Right, a whole bunch of nonsense. And texture setup. What is texture setup? Sampler, okay, yeah, sure. The scissor area. Draw mode, GPU buffer. Sure. That's not really that helpful. One moment, I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Where were we? We were trying to figure out how to rotate textures, dude. Our item initially. See, it's got a matrix stack here. Where is this called? Repair item elements. Alright, where's this called? Called in prepare. Where is this called? It's called in render. Hello, how's it going? Is this called anywhere else? It's only called here. What is this? Hey Megan, it's been a while. I am making 3D objects. There's no way this is what I'm looking at. I am working on a mod called Chaos Edition, which is basically just madness, insanity. It's an excuse for me to look deep in the code and mess around with things. It is pretty fun. I'm trying to rotate GUI elements, and so now I'm looking into figuring out how to do that, which is not that simple because Minecraft's rendering infrastructure is complicated. So it's great. What is this even? Where does this even come from? It sets ortho. Oh, it returns a brand new matrix. That reminds you. What do I think of MC moving to Vulkan? I think it's cool. I think what you're gonna see from the modding perspective, right? From the modding end of things, I think what you're gonna see is not many mods are gonna make the switch. Because it's a lot. It's a lot of effort for Mojang to switch to Vulkan, but Vulkan's probably going to be a little bit more performant than OpenGL and stuff. And it's one of the uglier sides of Minecraft's code base for sure. Not that OpenGL is bad; it's not bad in any way. But if they wanna upgrade to something cool, cool. But not a lot of modders. I don't think okay, you're gonna have some mods, a lot of performance-based mods and other stuff like that, right? They're gonna make the switch because whatever, they want to be available in all versions. But a lot of the content mods, they're not gonna I don't see many content mods making the switch. There's already enough of a divide as is between 1.20, 1.21, and 26.1. There's already enough of a divide there. Now you add the next version, which is going to have Vulkan too, which I don't think 26.1 has Vulkan. Or is it? I thought it was the next one that they're doing, not this one. I don't know. I don't remember. Either way, you have enough of a divide as is, regardless of whichever it is, right? I don't think I feel like you're not gonna find Fabric will move, a Forge will move, all the mod loaders, they will move to it. But the modders, I think you're gonna find not a lot of mods make that jump. If the mods actually revolve around rendering stuff, even fabric modders, right? Like, if their mod has a lot of rendering stuff that they were using OpenGL for, they might not have the time or really the drive or the incentive to want to have to rewrite all of that with Vulkan instead. Now, if a lot of mods, there are some mods that they don't do a lot of graphical stuff, right? They just add some items, they add some enchantments, they do this, that, or the other thing. Those will probably be fine. But think of mods like Electroblob's Wizardry, which has these really cool effects when you're doing certain things. These cool effects were drawn with shaders and other stuff that were done with OpenGL. Rewriting that to use Vulkan, I don't see that being a worthwhile investment for a lot of modders. So a lot of those mods that have visual aspects, they might not make the jump. Or that jump is going to be so delayed. Like this mod here that I'm currently working on that does do rendering stuff. Now, granted, the rendering stuff it does is supposed to be horrible and, kind of annoying and hard to look at and hard to play. Like, that's literally the whole point. I'm not making that jump. I'm not doing it. Right? If 26.1 has Vulkan, which I can't remember if it's 26.1 is going to have Vulkan or it's the next one, I'm not making the jump. I'm leaving this on 1.20, 1.11, and I'm probably just going to continue to develop Chaos Edition on this version, and I probably won't ever make the jump to 26.1. Over time, it should be more positive when people adjust to it more. That's the thing, right? They might not. This isn't even impressive. Look at other parts of Minecraft's history. 1.7.10 is a popular modded version because 1.8 introduced changes that people didn't like. 1.12 is a popular modded version because 1.13 completely overhauled things. And people don't want to port their mods over to 1.13 because the code base just drastically changed. A lot of things need to be rewritten from the ground up. Right? Like these popular modding versions exist because there's no incentive. There's not really a strong incentive. There was a divide between 1.16 and up too. Exactly, right? There are multiple versions that have kind of stood out as the de facto modded version for that sort of time period. And they will take future update content, if it's interesting, and just backport it. Right? So I think what you're going to see is Minecraft switches to Vulkan. New content is added in the future updates, and that content is backported to these other popular modded versions. And a lot of the modded community just doesn't touch the updates that have Vulkan in it. Not to say that there won't be mods made, but there's not going to be that much incentive. Especially with the constant drop rate and the frequency of updates, you're not going to see that much of it. I think it's cool that they're switching to Vulkan, right? Like, go team, right? It does make it harder for modders, though. I mean, heck, the change from 1.20 to 1.21, it wasn't that much, right? They added the trial chambers and all that other stuff, and there's like a whole document. It's long as heck. I watched a video yesterday on this. The changes. I think it's actually maybe the changes for 1.20. It was 1.20 or 1.21. The changes in Minecraft's backend was massive. But the update itself was not huge. But there were so many massive backend changes. It's like every time there's a new drop or a new update, Mojang decides, let's rewrite the entire codebase. And then they do. And now your mod doesn't work anymore. And it's like, are you kidding me? What? The game didn't drastically change. I remember when I had to port this from 1.20 to 1.21, there were a lot of things I had to redo because the way Minecraft did things just drastically changed for like no reason. Maybe it was slightly better, but it like changed everything. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I don't understand the point of a lot of it. I still don't understand the point of a lot of it, but it's just kind of there. There'll probably be a new version that people like and becomes a new popular version for money if that does not happen for a while. Yeah. Yeah, like eventually there's going to be another popular version, right? Like, after 1.12, I think it was 1.16 for a while, and it became 1.20, and then 1.21 and 1.20, there's kind of a debate on which one's a little bit better, right? There will probably be. What I think will happen though is with the new more frequent drops, you'll probably find that maybe that doesn't actually end up happening, because in order for there to be a new popular version, that version needs to be around long enough for people to want to develop mods for that version long enough for it to have cultivated a collection of mods that are good enough for people to want to stay there, right? The, with the frequent drops, that scene doesn't get enough time to grow and develop before the next one comes out, and then new modders come along. It's I'm gonna mod for the most recent version, so that's the next drop, right? And then new modders come along. I'm gonna mod for the most recent version, and so you're gonna have these people making mods, but not everyone's gonna be making mods for the same version. That's what I think. Maybe I hope there's a new popular version that comes out, because that'd be cool to see. I'm just not too sure. Yearly was way better. Yearly gave a year worth of mods to be developed for that update. With it being like seasonal, basically, you have a quarter of the time for that scene to develop before it gets supplanted with a new scene. That's another thing too, right? Like mods like JEI. I guess in modern versions it's not JEI. It's whatever it is. It's not NEI, it's whatever it's called. Whatever the modern version of JEI is. Right? It'll update to the next version. But instead of having to just update once a year to the next version, it has to update 4 times a year. Eventually, you're gonna see the mod author just be like, I'm not interested in supporting this anymore. It happens with every single one of these, right? Every single one of these, it happens. It's just gonna happen faster. If I take this and I get the matrix, it sets the ortho. But if I then rotate this, I don't even know if that'd work. Right? Because we're not even here. Even data packs and plugins are annoying now. Yeah, because it's hard to develop this stuff. It's tricky to do it. It's tricky to do it like consistently enough. What if I just changed the parameters? Hold on, I might be overcomplicating things. No, that doesn't work. Dang it, that doesn't work. Does this pipeline have a way to get the thing? It doesn't. It doesn't, dude, it doesn't. Vertex format, names, vertex size, offset by elements. I was making a simple data pack for biomes, and every single minor version needed changing half the stuff in it for 1.21 versions. Yeah, right? Like, it just ends up being, for visuals too, not any world gen, it just ends up being too much effort, right? And it just makes it makes it a little discouraging. Because you're like, I want to support this thing, but Minecraft, like, Mojang makes, like, one small change, and all of a sudden, like, it's almost like you gotta redo the whole thing. And it's not even like you can build an infrastructure that will help you sort of make that transition every time it happens, because you don't know what changes they're going to make. The changes that they're going to make is going to break your infrastructure anyway, right? So you'd still have to rebuild it all from the ground up. Can I rotate the sprite? Texture setup. This is from... I don't know what this is from. Maybe this is helpful. Maybe I can rotate this. No, because that's just a screen pause. It's just a rectangle on the screen. You can't even rotate it. Wow, dude. You're so annoying and tricky. I hate this. Right, and then this is called... Excuse me, my goodness. I wonder how vanilla PvP servers and others will settle down, because any new thing that comes since it's vanilla with just plugins, I kind of have to update more and it becomes annoying. Yeah, you might find that some servers just don't end up being on the most latest. What the hell is this? Can I rotate this then? Right external, read external, clone. Wow. Oh, because that's a stack, right? And then this... Surely this rotates. It rotates like X and Y or something? Or no, it probably just rotates. Determine translation. You definitely rotate. Don't lie to me. I know you rotate. I know you rotate. I know you rotate. Where's your rotation? There we are. Boom. Bada boink. Rotate, bro. I had to rewrite a few things that I started on 121.4, then like a month after I had to move it to 121.8, and then soon after 120.11. It's just annoying. Yeah, PvP servers don't have much for choice, because when MC adds a cool item, more importantly, new weapon that people really like, they kind of have to update. Yeah, because people sort of demand that. But they might just be like, look, we can't do it. We're not doing it, right? Okay, so this is the rotation. The draw context renders the sprite. And then this, when it makes the rotation, it does all of that, and then it returns itself. Minecraft has not been doing that good of a job balancing new weapons. The mace and the spear definitely warp a lot of the meta around it. It's pretty fun, but it's broken. Exactly. The same with the mace, right? But now the mace is almost obsolete, because when it comes to doing big damage, you're going to do more damage better with a spear than you are with a mace. Right? So it's like, there was a whole bunch of people doing cool stuff with the mace, and then it was like, it's almost been immediately superseded with the spear. I still think it's cool stuff, right? But it's like, now if you're like wanting to like build optimal weapons, why would you go to your way to farm, to like grind for a mace when you can just make a spear? Right? You still have a reason to want to grind for a trident, because trident offers utility that you're not really going to get. Mace, I don't know. I don't see the mace being that useful anymore. The mace's advantage was it could do a lot of damage. Mace should still win, yeah, but it's harder to use, right? Spears are easier to use. What if I then do, okay, I now have an idea. I can rotate this like this because hold on, let's do this. When it renders this, it's gonna draw it, right? Well, no, that's before, when it adds it to that, right? It's gonna then, this is great, I love this. Yeah, Elytra Spear becomes so much easier, it wins. Yeah, right? But, especially from a player progression standpoint, you're not really gonna need the high damage that the mace can offer. Especially when you consider how hard it is to get. Right? So I just don't see what purpose the mace serves, like, in a single player aspect. It's mainly for PvP, right? Exactly, right? But if it's mainly for PvP, then all you care about is, what everyone's going to be going for. And the meta's now spears. Why would you go for maces? Unless you have a meta that's currently pre-Elytra. Pre-Elytra, I guess is the right word. Then I guess if your meta's in a pre-Elytra state, people might farm for maces. But in the time it takes for you to farm a mace, you could probably go get an Elytra. So I don't know. It just ends up being weird, right? It's the mace still has a purpose. It still has a reason to exist, but it now has a harder time justifying its existence compared to the spear. It still can, but just one or two more cool items, and yeah, you're gonna have it's gonna be rough. Right, so now it renders this. And when it renders this, it prepares all that stuff. I mean, at some point, it does this, right? Because it renders the armor, and it draws the GUI, it gets the context. So I take the context and I spin the context. But how do I know how much I need to rotate it by? It takes that context. I need to rotate it a touch. And then I need to know when we're doing that. I guess at the start of in-game HUD. I guess I mix it into in-game HUD, do that, increment that. All these other renders use this as the rotation value, and then we hit this, we increment it again. Wow. Okay. So where in in-game HUD? In-game. Yes. Probably just on render, right? Maybe not. Yeah, on render. And then I set which ones I want to actually spin. Okay, I get you. I get you. I get you. I understand now. So right on render. All right. It took a moment. We got there. Didn't I used to have an in-game HUD mix-in? I used to. We don't anymore. In-game HUD is also client, 100%, right? I know it's client. I don't want to scroll to the top to verify it's client. I know it's client. Okay. I still needed to do that. What? Where are you doing? Get over here. In-game, blah, 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 blah. In-game HUD.class. And then, on another note, I'm actually starting to get a little bit better at Blockbench. So I might actually have some hope of making some mods I want. Dude, that's awesome. I had to recently I had a commission, and I had to model a mob in Blockbench for the first time, and the texture work's a little rough. It's not like the greatest. It's very simple, but like it still kind of works, and it still sort of fits the style of what it was supposed to be. And dude, that's just like a practice thing. You just there was a website that I looked at that showed like the Minecraft style, and I was like, okay, keep that in mind when doing it and stuff. This is environment and type dot client. Okay, so now we got this. My commission's been dry lately. I need some map commissions. Not gonna lie. I need to advertise my commissions. But I have a new job that's eating up some of my time, so once that job sort of stables out a little bit, I'm gonna probably push for commissions just so I can get some get some money. Because ideally, my ideal situation is I don't need this other job that I have. I can just do this because this is actually what I enjoy doing. But in order to get there, I need to be able to support myself. So that's sort of the purpose of this job. I know I can get a job for me, but next week I'm back to uni after like 1.5 years. Hey, so that opens some options, right? It's just render, right? Yeah, it's render. Oh wait, yeah, I don't need to actually specify the name, the parameters for it. At should be at head. Hey, welcome back. It's just gonna eat up my time, but it's whatever. Yeah, I mean, I feel you. But just stick with it, persevere. It's important, right? On render, I get the draw context, and then I get the render tick timer, tick counter, this thing. Counter? I don't know. Is that it? What do you problem? Method signature does not match. For inject. Fix. Oh wait, it needs a. Doesn't it need a callback info? It does. I never know how much to ask for commissions, not gonna lie. I'm so pretty new to this. I was new to this too. And so what I did is I did some research, and then I decided on what made sense for me. And I can actually tell you what I did, because it's not like this is private knowledge, this is public knowledge. If you were on my Discord server looking around, I have a whole channel dedicated to my commissions and stuff. So this is not, this is public knowledge. But what I decided on is I looked around and I saw what other modders were charging, and then I valued my own time based on the years I have of experience. And I have about 5+ years of experience modding, and I think that says a lot. Not only to dedication and commitment, but like from actual skill set. So, knowing that and seeing what some other people were charging for their commissions, I set my time and I went, okay, I want it to be an hourly thing. And, I sort of went with that hourly with like a base commission fee so that, if it only takes 1 hour of time, I'm not just getting like, a couple bucks or whatever. I still have basically there's like a minimum amount, and then it goes up from there. But that's what works for me. It's not necessarily going to work for everyone else, right? But it's tricky because you have to value your own skill set. And sometimes that's not easy to do because you're not sure how to do that. Slightly different from modding. Yeah, community plugin work is slightly different from modding, which is going to be slightly different from like texturing and slightly different from data packs, right? It's all going to be different. But the thought process that goes behind deciding your price is a little similar, though. I'm gonna need... Okay, I have this mix-in. I need the effect first. I'm gonna call this spin to win. I mean, I do like experience compared to most around me, but if we take map making, for example, while I'm less experienced, I do go in way more detail and do way harder, more technical stuff. Right? And so that still speaks for a lot of value, right? And so then you have to take a moment and go, all right, I have this detail-oriented approach. How do you feel that values against someone who might have a couple more years experience than you, right? I have the experience, but the kind of mods I've made, there are certain aspects of modding that I haven't really touched, right? Like I haven't really touched a lot of like client-side rendering, mob, entity AI stuff. And I mean AI not as in the Gen AI. I mean like, you know, like mob AI. Versus like mechanical background item-based stuff that a lot of my mods kind of are. So I was like, okay, I have a lot of proficiency in this, but not so much proficiency there. So, you know, I use that when I set a price. It should be client player tracking chaos effect. And then you send this. This is spin to win status payload. This is a record. And then this implements status payload. And then I need a public static. Is public, yeah? Is public, right? Yeah, is public. ID, and this ID is parameterized to be the thing, exactly. Okay. Spin to win status payload equals new ID. Oh yeah, and I have to go all over here. Dude, the setup for all of this. But for maps, I just go a little bit higher than usual prices. Hourly does not work well for me because what I'm working with also slows me down until I upgrade to a better PC. Yeah, that's fair, right? Like you have your reasons for deciding whether or not you want to do hourly or one, you know, lump payment or whatever. And those reasons and justifications are all, you know, specific to you, and you know, you do you. What are we doing? Spin to win. Win packet ID. This is MCC dark. Okay, identifier. This is spin to win, baby. Let's go. Now we have that. Now we go here. Networking constants dot spin to win. packet codecs, registry byte buff. I think it's spin to win status payload. Codecs equals packet codecs dot tuple packet codecs dot boolean spin to this, and then spin to win this. Boom. All right, now the other things I need to implement. This return ID and on send callback, I believe, is the other thing you're missing. Yeah, on send callback. And you're not doing anything. And then this is the spin to win status payload like this. And let's get a minimum duration, which is going to be you can see what like 1200 works as a minimum duration. This one can last a long time because it's all visual and it's not like that bad. What do I need here? Method super R int function or int function? Right. Duration min, duration max, and then spin to win this. Now what else do I need? Implement the methods that I'm missing. Boom. Can stack. You know what? This can be stackable. It's always applicable. By the way, Minecraft does some stuff is so fucking stupid. Like when making plugins, I have so many restrictions and few things are so annoying because of how stupid they are. Breach it. Right? Like, is this? Yeah, this is status thing. Oh wait, no, this is just status payload sending. It's not client tracking. Which one's client tracking? Probably, oh, it's Clippy. Clippy's client tracking. You have a tick handler, and then you have entity tick handler. You have this thing. I made it private. I just want to make sure I'm consistent. Spin to win, tick handler. Reset effect handler. Implement these. I don't have this set up here yet, so I need SP right here. Yes, like registry entries into win. Alright, that's there. This is going to be right here. Oops. Create registry entry, spin to win effect. Boom. All right, so that's set up. Now I can go here. This can return chaos effects dot spin to win. And now I have all this other stuff. This should be spin to win, right? This. And win tick handler. Okay, now I need. Whatever this stuff is, right? There's track client, get client tracker. Is client tracked, is affected. Which I believe I needed on all of this, right? Track client is affected. I guess that's all I really needed. Does it take the payload? Yeah, it does. I mean, look at that. And to win status payload. Client player tracking chaos effect dot track client passing the player. What else do I need? I need this. So this is chaos effects dot spin to win, and then this is the payload. I believe it's is client tracked. Well, it does that, so that's fine. Return, this needs to be Boolean, excuse me. Client player tracking his fact is client tracked, passing in the player, and guess effects dot spin to win. Okay. And I think that's what it wants to do here. Oh, it returns this is affected, which is this. Yeah, I just need the 3. Is affected, track client, is client tracked. Olga died as soon as I sent the last message. Oh no, it knew it was angry. Chaos effects dot spinman. Okay. Alright, so now that I got all of this, right, we have this effect set up. I need to set up one more thing. Actually, there's a couple things. Receiver, I can spell. Trust me. Client packet receiver. Brother. And there's client packet receiver? Client packet receiver. Spend a win status payload. Implement the methods. Alright, we got that. Oh, wait. Networking constants dot spin to win packet ID. There we go. Set this. This has to be registered on the client? Yeah. Right? That has to be registered there. I need networking payloads. Payload type registry dot play s2c dot register. This is going to be win status payload dot IDs. Win status payload dot codecs. Anyway, I was saying, like, my card does not seem to be able to hold a right click unless it's with an item that has an active item, an active time, like goat horn or bow or something. So I want an ability where you hold right click, you can like control or something. I can't just do that. I have to find some kind of trick to get past that restriction. Yeah, because the use action for the item, each item has a use action, and if the use action is just pass, it just does nothing. But if the use action is like eat or something, it does its own thing, right? Or for like a bow, the use action would be I don't know what it would be. But I mean, I guess the item use action unfortunately isn't data driven. Item use start continue finish. Yeah, but that's just in code, right? If we're looking at like data packs or plugins, I think you're looking at a little bit different. And I believe that's only for items that actually have a use, right? Like I think that'd fire for like a bow and stuff, but for something like a spawn egg, right? Or even like a stick. If you're holding a stick, that has no right-click action at all. And so I'm pretty sure nothing is fired there. I don't know though. That's interesting. I wouldn't know. The last time I ever need to look at that, you can use active time to kind of make it act like you're detecting right click. Yeah, for like those items, absolutely. There's no way to do that with like empty hand. Oh yeah, with empty hand, yeah, that's also probably not a thing. Because it only sends the packet once that they right clicked. To like see if they like open a door or something. Wait a second. That's not true. Well, Because if you hold right click and then you mouse over a door, you will open the door. So like, kind of, but it definitely doesn't make it easy. I think all I want to do here is context.client.execute spin to win effect.track client context dot client.player, I think I probably want to do. And then the spin to win status payload. Yeah, that's fair. It only sends a packet on the server if you go over an interactable block or switch to a usable item. Oh, I see. The client is detecting it, but it's not going to send it to the server. Yep. That makes sense. It does not send that info over to the server because under normal gameplay circumstances, the server doesn't need to know you're holding right click with an empty hand. So that ends up being a little tricky. And now I can go to the mixin. Now we can do what we originally intended to do. Now that I've set up that infrastructure, where's my in-game HUD mixin? Brother. Here you are. On render, I will probably need a set of things. I shouldn't have this stored here, right? Like, I should do it elsewhere. This seems like a bad idea because I can't have... I can only have static things. No, I can't have static methods. Wait, I can't have static methods. Oh, the static methods have to be private. That's what it is. Don't need to care about that, though. I already know that they have this. I just need a static final thing of the list of things. And then if they're there, just do that. I don't need this callback or anything, right? I'm pretty sure. I don't know, dude. Maybe I should. For all movement keys, so you can do a holding jump key or something like that, but only for movement keys, which does make sense. Yes, that does in fact make sense. Because I have this callback, I have this callback, I have this callback, I have this callback on sprite draw callback, but this is not on. I don't even know where the hell this was. Oh, it was to cancel that thing. So God knows where that was called. In draw context? Yeah, it was on draw context. Okay. I see you. Wait, so then I just need to listen to this. I just need a sprite draw callback. And that should allow me to detect the sprite. And then set that. So like that's for that. Okay, I do need a handler. I gotcha. I gotcha. I gotcha. Then when sprite handler, do this. Make this shit final. Implement on sprite draw callback. This is done before it does all of that. Okay, so then I have... This is all on the client side, right? I still have this. I should still probably do that. I don't know, dude. What are we mapping here? We're mapping UUIDs to integer. New hash map. Okay, so we have that, right? Rotation amount dot merge. Wait, I can rotate by, this should be a float. So that I can actually set this rotation amount. We can go by like half a degree. Brother. And then should draw. And this is where I have... You can apply custom enchant glint only secret items while keeping vanilla gun for the rest, so I can't figure out how to do that. It's so annoying. I legit started learning shaders for that. Interesting. Yeah, that's something. Wait, this on sprite callback. It should take the draw context. Right? So then put the context here. And then put the context here. Right? And now I go back to you. That needs that. There used to be a mod that let you do that. That's not been updated past 1.21.1. Oh boy. So, you know, that then you're in no man's land, right? You're like going from the beginning. affected pipelines equals sets.new hash set. Sets, what the heck? Sets.new hash set. There we go. If affected pipelines dot contains pipeline. Also have to go to the draw context mixin here because this should pass in. I might need a duck type it. This is backwards. I'm gonna need it there, and I'm gonna need it there. Are you doing that is smarter than learning shaders, which I know nothing of. Low-key making a mod for that should not be that hard. I mean, I just something to detect conditions like name and overrides the glint texture based on that. Yeah, that wouldn't be like super duper hard. Obviously, a lot of things are easier said than done. Like you get into it and you're like, oh gosh. But you might find a little bit more success with something like that. Because you can write a mix-in, which is a little complicated to learn, but you can write a mix-in that changes the enchantment glint used with your own under whatever context you need, right? If it contains, then I want to do context dot get matrices. Is that really it? Yeah, because then it gets me this, and since this extends this, I can rotate it. You can't even get the size of it either, which is crazy. You just have to know what the hell. That's insane, but it doesn't matter. I don't care. Where are we? Draw, not the draw context mixin. We're right here. Get matrices dot rotation. What's the difference between rotation and rotate? Rotate about, rotate to, rotation. Oh, this sets the rotation. The other ones actually physically rotate it. So this is actually the one I want. Instance.player. If the player is not null, and we're here, then we're going to do rotation amount dot get player dot get UUID. And then we're going to return new callback results. And that's all that does. Now, I don't want to get everything that's in the Rainbow HUD handler. But I do want this and this, I believe. I think I just want those. If that doesn't work, then we will get the other ones. We will get others. Welcome back. And this is just a 2-arg thing or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay. What are you bitching about? Oh, I haven't used this. I haven't used that. Duh. All right. We can do that. It's in register callbacks. On sprite draw callback.event.register new Spinduin sprite handler. Okay, we got that. Damn, read up some stuff just now, and making mod does seem like the most realistic thing I can do now, unless I got Optifine to work. I guess I know what I'm now lifting. Or learning over the next few days. Yeah, dude. God bless. And then the in-game HUD. All the in-game HUD does on render, add to mixing config, is I get the player entity equals Minecraft client, no, not the mixin, Minecraft client dot instance dot player. I gotta go now, but I feel like this is gonna suck setting up IntelliJ too. I wish you luck. Stick with it. It'll be an afternoon, right? But you'll get it. I believe in you. If player not null. So if this is not null, and this is where I want to actually check. And when effect dot is client tracked player, right? And day should be enough, right? What could go wrong? It's just a simple mod detecting custom model data, right? Right? You would think. But, you know, when it comes to coding, it does sound like it would be simple, but, you know, then it's just like actually getting the code base that is Minecraft to work with what you're trying to do, which will be a little tricky. But not impossible. Absolutely. Like, I know how I would go about looking for that and getting that done. I mean, with no hope. You'll need to do some research. There'll be some learning, absolutely, but you can definitely do it. I know how I would go about doing it, and it's definitely possible. And when sprite handler dot increment rotation layer dot get UUID. I have a rough idea in mind too. All right, that's good. That's good. Oh, yep. See you later. Peace out. Well, I'll level up. I fucking, I know fucking now they have low code experience, fucking this shit generally helped me. Beautiful, eh? Okay, so, do I have everything I need? I'm probably missing something. We'll find out. I'm missing something. Setting up these client effects is so annoying, because, like, you gotta set the mixin for the client thing you want to do, then you gotta set up the effect that's gonna send the packet to do it, then you gotta set up the handler that's gonna handle the information and, like, tracking the player, and then, like, not tracking the player and all that other stuff. I would 100% miss something. There's, like, 7 fucking steps to this process. Right? Like, we missed something. I swear we missed something. Oh. Actually, wait, no, never mind, it crashed. I was about to say, wait, I know what I missed. And then I realized, well, I missed something. What? Oh, because it's null. Oh, because we're not in it. Oh shit, no kidding. It's almost like... It's almost like we need that to know. Right? And I guarantee you, the HUD, the rainbow thing is gonna do the same thing. Rainbow thing does the same thing. Yeah, well, it has its own way of tracking affected players. It's that same shit. Alright, this time. On top. No crash this time. We're good. I promise. Hey, look at that. Alright. Let's see. If we apply then the win. Holy shit, there is a problem. Oh my god, there is a problem. For starters, that is way too fast. Secondly, Jesus Christ. so, something's not right. Whoops. Oh my god, dude. Right. Oh, yes, dude. I gotta open inventory. Oh boy, dude. It just... Good luck with any of that. I need to have an item in my inventory. Actually, I do have items in my inventory. Dude, you... Good fucking luck. Wow, I'm picking that up. Yeah, no. I'm good. Um... Right. For starters... That's a little too fast. let's maybe make that real slow. Secondly, you are... I wonder if I need to rotate it about a specific point, which means this should draw should have something else too. So I'm not completely out of the woods yet, because look, we have the X and the Y position of the sprite in question, right? So I can just rotate it about that point. Maybe. Maybe. And so should draw should take an X and Y. Oops. Y. There you go. Do that. Then on this, I need to pass in X and Y. Boom. All right. Now on U, I pass in X in Y. And then here, this rotation, now that I realize that this is rotating everything, what the hell did I do this? Reformat code? I did, whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, get this. Don't do dot rotation. Dot rotate. What does rotate local do? No, not that, brother. This dot rotate local. The difference being what? Rotate about. Right, so I do need this X and Y position. Okay. Yeah. That's the only way that that can work. Rotate about. I need to push a new matrix. I don't know. I probably do. I'm going to. I'm going to push a new matrix every time. Because this is still going to rotate everything, right? So that's not what we want. Oh wait, yeah, I need to pass in X, X, Y. I'm gonna need a thing here. This should be private. This needs to be private. X in Y. And then I need the callback info, CI. And then I do if on sprite draw callback dot event dot invoker dot should draw, passing in draw context object. Wow, that's a way to spell it. Pipeline sprite x y. Dot get cancel state. Oh wait, I guess I need draw context. Hello? Because this has to be static. Cancel state dot cancel. I do ci dot cancel. Why is this capital C? Hello. Add the at unique and then call sprite draw callback. And it's basically just this. That's really annoying. Oh, okay, cool. It still works. Good. There we go. Now I just need to handle this. I don't need to constantly change it multiple times. And the reason I want to do that is because I can do context.getMatrices.push matrix. Do this. And then I need an end. And it's not cancelable. No, I had to do it before. Oh, that's annoying. And then pop the matrix early if I cancel. Otherwise, I'm gonna need to pop it here. So the idea is I inject into the beginning, I push a matrix that I can rotate independently about the point that I'm drawing it at. Then, if I'm canceling, I pop the matrix so that we're still good. But if I'm not, right, then on draw end, right, if nothing's happening, then all we're doing is we're going here, we're pushing a matrix, we're calling this event does nothing because say no chaos effects are active. This doesn't happen, then we inject at the end and we just pop that matrix back off. This makes sense. I would like to not have whatever that disaster was happen again. That is a non-repeatable. Don't do that. That is terrible. Everything's still fine. Right, so slash chaos apply spin to win. It doesn't actually spin anything. Interesting. Why? Wait, it is. It's spinning something. It's spinning my crosshair. It took me a moment to realize, but it is spinning that. Okay. But, granted, I don't know where that skeleton went. Oh, he's over here. Oh, you're over here. Okay, it's just rotating the crosshair. It's not actually rotating the... Oh, Jesus Christ. Have mercy. Okay, that is not what I was looking to do there. Yeah, they can exist over there. That's fine. A lot of things have been brought to the surface. It's not spinning those other sprites though. And that's what concerns me. I didn't hit the render pipeline for it then. That must have been it. That must have been it. I didn't hit the right render pipeline. Okay, that's fine then. I just gotta make sure I have the right render pipelines. Because we do with the rainbow one. The rainbow one, but the rainbow one has a lot of different types. It might be GUI textured. Oh shit. It's probably GUI textured. In fact, I'm so confident. I didn't rotate that. Hmm. Maybe not. Okay, so then where is it drawn? I need a get me to the in-game HUD. Because that'll tell me where we're at here. Pick blah 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 blah. Get current bar type. Art type. Get texture. Okay, this is what I want. It is in render pipelines GUI textured. Okay, here's what I can do. I can also set a breakpoint for this in the sprite handler. This is the crosshair. It's the crosshair, the crosshair, the crosshair, the crosshair. Ah, you see, it's always the crosshair. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's just doing the crosshair. Okay, that's good information. Because notice, this still, you monster. Get out of here. Can you not? My gosh. Get out of here. So now that I have this active, what I can do is I can go to the rainbow HUD handler and I can just make sure that it's getting the right thing. This is the vignette. Crosshair, GUI texture, the identifier is the hotbar selection, hotbar offhand left, heart container, and it's in the GUI textured one. Okay, so see, that's fine. This sprite handler. I'm gonna actually, hold on, do this, go here, do this. clear, apply our spin to win, pause, right? Go here, go here, go here. This is applying the vignette, which won't, the crosshair, the hotbar selection, the hotbar offhand left, the heart container. And this heart container, this thing here, is size 2. Right. Okay, I understand. I actually need to restart it. That's what I need to do. There's some that I don't want to spin, though. And sprite dot get path dot contains hotbar. Okay, if it doesn't contain a hotbar, I don't want to do it. Right, this right here. The reason for that is because I don't want it to spin the hotbar, because that's going to be a little much. We'll make it a little bit faster. We've literally just made it 10 times faster. Now, I could do one with just the crosshair that just spins it at fuckload speed per second. That would be funny. Because it's just the crosshair, right? That's not going to be that bad. Maybe. I don't know. I'm under the impression that this still isn't going to work exactly how I wanted. Well, we'll see. God damn it. Yeah. So you see how they're spinning not about the center. And that's annoying. I would like for it to spin about the center. We're getting there though, dude. We're actually accomplishing something. But it'd be great if it spun about the center. Oh my lord. This needs to stay. Just this part needs to stay. But spin about the center. The center. Okay. I know what I need to do in order to do that. Because all of these things, it has width, 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 width. We have the width and the height, which is the width and height of the texture, right? So I think I can just rotate about half the width in and half the height in. right? And we can see the in-game HUD here. It draws a GUI texture, and this one goes to this one, which just passes in this width and this height, right? And I'm just gonna make sure that we don't have the we don't want the XP bar to do it. Right, so pass in the width and the height. Okay, so on here, I'm gonna need in width, in height, rotate about x plus, is this? It is, yeah. X plus width divided by 2.0f. Y plus height divided by 2.0f. And that should go boop and boop into the center of the texture. Magic number mouse. No inspection, magic number. Wow, you are really good at spelling. Right, okay, cool. Now I go here. This needs in width, in height. And pass in width, height. And pass in width, height. I go here. This has in width, in height. I pass in width, height. And then here I have to pass in width, height, width, height, and width, height. Boom. Okay. Good. We're good. That's all we need to do. And then we'll debug it. And then I will fuck that up. Try that one again. Now it's still gonna spin the XP bar. We can fix that. Okay, the text is, oh my god. A dude. The XP bar is going nuts. Oh my god, have fun finding anything in your inventory. Okay, one thing we this is so dumb. I just want that XP bar, I think. I think I want the XP bar. To not do that. So that's the crosshair, heart container, heart full, container full, container full, container full, container full, container full, container full. Food empty, yeah, okay. Just get through all of this. Air. Experience bar. Background experience bar progress. Effect background. So I think I want background. Maybe button. So if it contains button, background, experience bar, or hotbar. Don't do that. There was one more. Button. Sprite dot get path dot contains. Okay. So if it contains that, if it contains that, if it contains that, if it contains that, then there's a problem. But if it contains hotbar, that should be right. All right, we should be good. Hey, look at that. It's spinning the right amount of nonsense. Alright, this is perfect. What the heck? Oh my god, dude. And it launched me up here, dude, that was awesome. Alright, dude, that's perfect. That's good. Maybe I make a couple tweaks later on, but that's that, dude. That's that. Alright. And just in time, too. I gotta run. I usually start at 2:30, but I gotta start at 2 this week, so I gotta leave right now. This was cool, though. We just in time, too. So, it was all good. I'm gonna head off now. Y'all have a great rest of your day. This was cool. We made good progress. Good progress. We have 5 new effects. So I still want some more before I release. Obviously, I have a couple of ideas, and I'll be brainstorming a couple of other ideas as well. I might have to cancel stream tomorrow, unfortunately, but we will see. It might be a little bit of a last minute notice. I don't know. It's gonna suck. But yeah, that'll be it for me, though. Thanks you all. Thanks you all. Thanks for watching, and I will check you guys next time. If not tomorrow, then the day after, probably. All right. Peace.